Taijo stood at the viewing port of his ship, looking down at the blue planet, Earth. It looked small and ordinary from space. Nothing special. Just another world to visit, study, and report on. "Is everything ready for landing, Subin?" Taijo asked without turning around. His aide nodded, data tablet in hand. "Yes, Ambassador. The humans have cleared a special area for our arrival. They seem quite excited." Taijo made a sound that humans might mistake for a sigh. Of course they are excited. This is likely the most important event in their short history. As the top diplomat from the Yonsei Collective, Taijo had visited 17 different worlds. Each time, he arrived, evaluated, and left. His reports helped the High Council decide if a species was worth regular contact or better left alone to develop further. Most planets fell into the second group. "Remember what the reports say about humans," he told Subin as they walked to the landing bay. "They are emotional, unpredictable, and still fight among themselves. This will not be a difficult assessment." Subin looked uncomfortable. "The reports also say they have survived challenges that have destroyed other species. Perhaps we should not judge too quickly." Taijo waved away the concern. "We will complete this task in the standard time. 1 Earth month should be more than enough." When their ship landed, Taijo took a moment to record his first journal entry. Day 1 on Earth. The air smells strange. Their gravity feels slightly wrong. I predict this assignment will be brief and unremarkable. The landing ramp lowered, and Taijo stepped out into the sunlight. A small group of humans waited below. Most wore dark formal clothes, but one woman stood out in a bright blue outfit. She stepped forward when she saw him. "Ambassador Taijo? Welcome to Earth. I am Dr. Hana Kim, your assigned liaison during your stay." She bowed slightly, then extended, her hand in the human greeting custom. Taijo had studied this gesture. He reached out and took her hand briefly. "Your welcome is acceptable, Dr. Kim." Her eyes widened slightly at his bluntness, but she smiled anyway. "We have prepared living quarters for you at our International Diplomatic Center. Would you like to rest first, or would you prefer to meet the Regional Council representatives who have gathered to greet you?" "I do not require rest," Taijo said. "Let us proceed with the meetings. I wish to begin my work immediately." As they walked toward a large building, Dr. Kim spoke quickly about Earth customs and diplomatic protocols. Taijo noticed she did not speak with the careful, measured tones used in the collective. Her words came fast, with emotion and hand movements that seemed unnecessary, but somehow made her meaning clearer. "You speak very directly," he observed. Dr. Kim laughed. "Yes, I'm told that a lot. My colleagues say I should be more formal with you, but I believe clear communication works best. If I ever offend you, please tell me." Taijo found himself surprised by her response. In the collective, such directness would be considered rude, especially from someone of lower rank, yet her honesty was efficient. "Your approach is unusual but acceptable," he said. Their conversation was interrupted by a sudden commotion. Screens around the reception area lit up with emergency broadcasts. Dr. Kim's face changed instantly from welcoming to concerned. "An earthquake," she explained, looking at the nearest screen. "A big one, about 300 kilometers from here." Taijo watched with mild interest. Natural disasters occurred on all planets. What caught his attention was the human response. Within minutes, the organized welcome reception broke apart as people rushed to communication devices. Some were already leaving the building. "What is happening?" he asked Dr. Kim. "Everyone's mobilizing to help," she said, already checking her own device. "My brother Dong-hyun works in emergency services. He'll be heading there now." "These humans are not emergency workers," Taijo pointed out, watching government officials hurry out. "No, but everyone helps during disasters. It's just what we do," Dr. Kim said simply. She looked at him apologetically. "I'm sorry, but our formal welcome will have to wait." Would you like to observe our emergency response? It might help you understand us better. Taijo was about to refuse when he remembered Subin's words about not judging too quickly. Yes, he decided. I would like to see this. That evening, Taijo added a second entry to his journal. Day 1 continued. Witnessed humans responding to a crisis. Expected chaos. Found organization emerging from disorder. Observed government officials working alongside ordinary citizens to rescue strangers. Most curious. Many humans rush toward danger rather than away from it. This behavior contradicts survival logic but appears common among them. Perhaps this species requires further study after all. 2 weeks had passed since Taijo's arrival on Earth. His journal was filling up faster than on any previous mission. Each day brought new puzzles about humans that he struggled to understand. Day 15 on Earth. Humans continue to behave in ways that make no logical sense. They argue loudly in their meetings, then laugh together after. They speak of unity while celebrating their differences. The collective achieved peace through sameness. Humans seem to find strength in being unlike each other. This requires further study. Dr. Kim had become his constant guide through the confusing world of human customs. Today, she was taking him to what she called a cultural festival. You'll see many different traditions in one place, she explained as their vehicle moved through the city streets. It might help you understand our diversity. Taijo looked out the window. In the collective, all cities look the same. It is efficient. Here, each building looks different from the next. It seems wasteful. Dr. Kim smiled. We find beauty in variety. Speaking of which, we'll be meeting my brother Dong-hyun at the festival. He's very different from me, but we're close. The festival grounds were crowded with humans. Some wore bright, traditional clothes while others dressed in simple modern styles. Music from different regions played at various stations. The air filled with the smells of foods Taijo couldn't identify. This is overwhelming, he told Dr. Kim. Let's start simple, she suggested, leading him to a quieter area where people were performing a calm, flowing dance. A tall man approached them. He moved with precise steps that reminded Taijo of military personnel from various worlds. Dong-hyun! Dr. Kim hugged her brother warmly. This is Ambassador Taijo. Dong-hyun bowed respectfully. Welcome, Ambassador. Has my sister been driving you crazy with all her questions yet? Taijo blinked. Dr. Kim has been highly efficient as a liaison. Why would you suggest otherwise about your own family member? The siblings exchanged glances and laughed. Taijo noted how similar their faces were when they smiled, yet how different their mannerisms seemed. It was a joke, Dr. Kim explained. Dong-hyun teases me about being too curious. Ah, humor, still difficult to recognize, Taijo admitted. They walked through the festival together. Dong-hyun, Taijo learned, had served in the military for 10 years before switching to emergency response work. This career change puzzled Taijo. You were trained for combat, but now help disaster victims? These seem like opposite paths, he said as they watched children learning traditional dances. Dong-hyun considered this. Not really. Both are about protecting people. In the military, I protected them from human threats. Now I protect them from natural threats. The skills transfer well. But the military is structured, disciplined. Emergency work is chaotic, Taiyo noted. Life is chaotic, Dong-hyun said simply. The trick is finding order in the chaos, not trying to eliminate it completely. Taijo found himself thinking about this statement long after they moved on. Later, they passed a small group of people holding signs with anti-alien messages. Taijo tensed, expecting Dr. Kim to steer him away or apologize. Instead, she nodded toward them. Not everyone is happy about your presence here, she said matter-of-factly. You are not embarrassed by them? Taijo asked, surprised. Why would I be? They have concerns and the right to express them. I disagree with their views, but defending their right to speak is important. You defend those who oppose you. This concept seemed completely foreign to Taejo. That's the foundation of free speech, Donghyun added. If we only protect speech we agree with, we're no better than dictators. Taejo watched the protesters, then looked around at the festival where countless different human cultures shared space peacefully despite their differences. In the collective, he said slowly, we believe peace comes through agreement. Everyone thinks alike, acts alike, to prevent conflict. And does it work? Dr. Kim asked. Taejo started to say yes automatically, then paused. We have no wars, but we also have few new ideas. Progress is, slow. That night, Taejo wrote in his journal, Day 15 continued. Humans contain multitudes. They argue yet cooperate. They celebrate differences yet find common ground. They allow dissent yet maintain order. Their system seems impossible, chaotic, inefficient, even dangerous. Yet it produces results the collective's perfect order does not. Innovation, adaptation, and a strange kind of harmony within discord. I find myself both disturbed and fascinated. This may be their greatest strength or their fatal flaw. I remain undecided. He closed the journal and looked out at the Earth City lights. For the first time in his diplomatic career, Taejo wondered if he might be the one with something to learn. Taejo sat alone in his quarters, reading the message from the collective for the third time. The words remained the same, but he still couldn't believe what they asked of him. Ambassador Taejo, our deep space monitoring has detected an asteroid on collision course with Earth. Impact predicted in 21 Earth days. Size sufficient to destroy a major city, but not cause extinction-level event. Do not inform humans of our detection capabilities. Observe their response when they discover the threat. Report on their crisis management. This is a perfect test of species value and cooperation potential. Interference strictly forbidden. Taejo closed his eyes. The collective had always observed. Developing species but setting up a test that could kill millions? This was new and troubling. He opened his journal. Day 22 on Earth. Received disturbing orders today. Must watch humans face a deadly threat without helping. The diplomatic part of me understands the test. The part that has spent time with humans questions if this is right. Dr. Kim is taking me to meet Earth scientists tomorrow. How will I face them knowing what I know? The next morning, Dr. Kim noticed his mood immediately. Are you feeling well, Ambassador? You seem distracted. I am functioning normally, Taejo lied, something he had rarely done before coming to Earth. Tell me about these scientists we are meeting. They're from our global space monitoring program. They track objects that might threaten Earth. They're especially excited to ask about your species' space technology. Taejo felt his heart's beat faster. Of all the places Dr. Kim could have taken him today, it had to be here. The science facility was large and busy. Screens showed images of stars and planets. On the main wall, a map tracked objects near Earth. Taejo wondered how long before they would spot the approaching asteroid. He got his answer just after lunch. Alarms started blaring. Scientists rushed to computers. Someone shouted about a new object that had appeared from behind the sun. What's happening? Dr. Kim asked one of the scientists. We've detected a large asteroid, the woman replied, her face pale. It's on a collision course with Earth. Impact in less than 3 weeks. Taejo watched the humans carefully. There was fear on their faces, but they worked quickly and calmly. No panic, no running away, just focused action. Dr. Kim turned to him. Ambassador, I apologize, but this meeting will have to end early. We have an emergency situation. I understand, Taejo said. May I observe your response? It would be educational. Within hours, news of the asteroid spread worldwide. Taejo expected chaos. Instead, he saw something remarkable. Earth's nations began working together. Countries that normally argued about everything now shared information and resources. That evening, Dr. Kim called him. "Ambassador, there's an emergency meeting of world leaders tomorrow. They've requested your presence." "My presence? Why?" "They want to know if the collective has technology that might help. This affects your stay on Earth, too." Taejo felt trapped between duty and growing personal conflict. "I will attend," he said finally. At the meeting, Taejo watched as former enemy nations worked side by side on solutions. When asked about collective technology, he gave vague answers, hating himself with each word. Later, he found Dongyun preparing emergency response teams. "If we can't stop it, we need to be ready to help survivors," Dongyun explained, checking. "Supplies." "You prepare for failure while others try to prevent it?" Taejo asked. "It's not either or. We hope for the best but plan for the worst. That's how humans survive." That night, Subin confronted Taejo in his quarters. "You are becoming too close to these humans," Subin warned. "I've seen how you look at them, like you want to help. Remember your duty to the collective." "My duty is to observe and report accurately," Taejo replied. "Nothing more," Subin emphasized. "The collective will not be pleased if you interfere." After Subin left, Taejo wrote in his journal, "Day 26 on Earth. Humans have discovered the asteroid. Their response defies collective predictions. Nations that fought last year now work together. Scientists share freely. Leaders make quick decisions without usual politics. Dr. Kim works day and night translating scientific terms between languages. Dongyun prepares to save those he can if the worst happens." He paused, then added, "The collective believes this test will prove humans are too divided to join galactic community. I fear instead it may prove the collective has forgotten what true cooperation means. I must decide. Follow orders and watch millions die, or risk everything to help a species I barely understand but have come to respect." Taejo looked up at the night sky visible through his window. Somewhere up there, the asteroid moved closer, and with it, his moment of choice. Taejo paced his room all night. By morning, he had made his decision. He could not stand by and watch millions die when he could help, but he had to be careful. Direct help would be noticed by the collective. He needed a subtle plan. He wrote, carefully in his journal, "Day 27 on Earth. Continuing observations of human response to asteroid crisis. Their scientific approach shows promise but lacks key insights. I will attend more science meetings today." If the collective ever read his journal, they would find nothing suspicious in these words. But Taejo had begun writing in code. The real message was hidden in his choice of words. At the Science Center, teams worked around the clock. Dr. Kim looked tired. She had been translating complex ideas between different countries' science teams. "Ambassador Taejo, welcome," she said. "We're discussing deflection methods. Do you wish to observe?" "I would like to participate in theoretical discussions," Taejo said carefully. "While I cannot share collective technology, I can ask questions. That might help your thinking." Dr. Kim brightened. Any input would be valuable. During the meeting, Taejo listened to the scientists' ideas. Their plans had merit but would likely fail. The asteroid was moving too fast, and Earth technology was too limited. When the right moment came, Taejo spoke up. "I am curious. Have you considered using solar reflection arrays to create focused heat on one side of the asteroid?" The scientists looked at each other. "We don't have that technology," one said. "But is the concept sound?" Taejo asked innocently. This started a new line of thinking. Without directly giving solutions, Taejo planted seeds of advanced ideas. Through his theoretical questions, over the next 3 days, he repeated this pattern in different meetings. What if you combined your nuclear option with targeted electromagnetic pulses? Have you tested how the asteroid's mineral composition might react to controlled vibration frequencies? Each time, he was careful to present ideas as questions, not solutions. Each time, human scientists built on these concepts with surprising speed. Subin grew suspicious. "You spend much time with the humans working on the asteroid problem," he said one evening. "Knowledge of their crisis response is central to my report," Taejo replied calmly. "The collective's orders were clear. Observation only." "I am observing. I simply ask questions." Subin's eyes narrowed. "Questions that lead them toward advanced science beyond their development stage." "They make their own conclusions," Taejo said. "Their adaptability is remarkable." That night, Taejo wrote in his journal, "Day 31 on Earth. Humans continue to impress with their problem-solving abilities. When presented with new concepts, they quickly adapt and expand on them. Dr. Kim especially shows remarkable mental flexibility. Today, she connected several theoretical frameworks into a new approach. The human talent for making unexpected connections may be their most valuable trait." What he didn't write was how proud he felt when Dr. Kim presented her breakthrough to the international team. She had taken his subtle hints about reflection technology and combined them with Earth's existing capabilities to create something new, something that might actually work. The next morning, Taejo noticed a new ship in Earth orbit. Its design was familiar, collective. His communication device buzzed. It was a message from his superiors. "Monitoring ship deployed to observe final phase of test and evaluate your performance. Your reports show unusual interest in human success." Taejo felt cold fear. Had they discovered his help? He went to the science center, trying to appear normal. Dr. Kim rushed to meet him, eyes bright with excitement. "Ambassador, we're ready to launch our defense system tomorrow. It's a combination of ideas from teams around the world. We think it will work." Taejo looked at the plans. The system was clever, not as advanced as collective technology, but impressively innovative for Earth's development level. And it was partly built on his carefully planted ideas. "This is remarkable progress," he said. "You've been a help," Dr. Kim said. "Your questions made us think in new ways." Taejo glanced up at the ceiling, aware that the collective ship might be monitoring. "I did nothing special," he said quietly. Dr. Kim gave him a curious look, but didn't press further. As she walked away to continue preparations, Taejo touched the journal in his pocket. Tonight's entry would need to be very careful indeed. The collective was watching, but Earth's chance for survival now hung in the balance. And somehow, against all his training and expectations, that had become the outcome that mattered most to him. The whole world watched as Earth launched its defense against the asteroid. Screens in every city showed the rockets racing toward space. Taejo stood with Dr. Kim and other officials in the main control room. No one spoke. Everyone held their breath. "Impact in 5 minutes," someone announced. The plan was working so far. The rockets had reached the asteroid. They would hit it from specific angles, breaking it into smaller pieces and changing its path. Most pieces would miss Earth. The few that might still hit would be small enough to burn up in the atmosphere. Taejo glanced at Dr. Kim. Dark circles showed under her eyes after days without proper sleep. Yet she stood tall, hopeful. He admired that about humans. Their hope never seemed to die. "First impact successful," a technician called out. The room erupted in cheers. On the main screen, they watched as explosions broke the asteroid into pieces. Most chunks moved away from Earth's path, but the computer showed one large piece still heading directly toward them. "Secondary fragments still on collision course," the technician reported, voice tight with worry. "Too large to burn up completely. Predicted impact in northern ocean region." The room fell silent again. Even a small asteroid hitting the ocean could cause massive waves, flooding coastal cities. Taejo felt a strange sensation in his chest. Guilt. He knew the collective ship in orbit could easily destroy the remaining fragment, but they would not act. This was a test, and interference was forbidden. Suddenly, a bright flash appeared on the screen. The remaining asteroid fragment exploded into dust. Everyone looked confused. "What happened?" Dr. Kim asked. "Did we have another defensive measure I didn't know about?" The technicians shook their heads, checking their readings. "Energy signature detected in orbit," one called out. "Extremely powerful, unlike anything we've seen before." Taejo knew immediately what had happened. The collective ship had acted. But why? This broke all protocols. His communication device buzzed with an urgent message. "Return to embassy immediately." As people celebrated around him, Taejo slipped away. He needed to understand what this meant. But before he could reach the door, Dr. Kim caught up to him. "Ambassador Taejo," she said, her voice different now. Cold. "We need to talk." She led him to a small room and closed the door. Then she showed him a data tablet with readings from the energy blast that destroyed the asteroid fragment. "This energy signature matches readings we detected from your ship when you first arrived," she said. "Your people destroyed that asteroid piece, didn't they?" Taejo hesitated. The truth would change everything. "Yes," he finally said. "You had the technology to destroy the entire asteroid all along." "It wasn't a question. You let us struggle and fear for our lives when you could have helped immediately." Taejo saw hurt and anger in her eyes. Worse than that, betrayal. "It's more complicated than that," he said. "Then explain it to me," she demanded. So he did. He told her everything about the test, his orders to watch and not help, and his secret efforts to guide their scientists. "The collective believes advanced help makes developing species dependent," he explained. "They wanted to see how you would handle this crisis alone." "But you didn't agree with that," Dr. Kim said, studying his face. "I came to believe it was wrong," Taejo admitted, "which is why I tried to help without being discovered. And now the collective ship helped anyway. Why?" "I don't know," Taejo said honestly. "It breaks all protocols." Dr. Kim was quiet for a long moment. "What happens now?" "I will be recalled, probably immediately. The collective will see me as compromised." As if confirming his words, his communication device buzzed again. The message was clear. "Return to collective ship for immediate departure and evaluation. You have failed to maintain objective distance. Ambassador role terminated." Taejo showed Dr. Kim the message. "I must go." She looked at him with complex emotions. "You helped us, even though it was against your orders." "Not enough," he said, "and now I must face the consequences." Back in his quarters, Taejo wrote what he believed would be his final journal entry on Earth. Day 35 on Earth. The asteroid crisis is over. Humans survived through their remarkable ability to cooperate and adapt. My mission is also over. I chose to help, rather than merely observe. I chose connection over detachment. For this, I will be judged harshly by the collective. Yet I cannot regret my choice. I have learned that true diplomacy is not just about observing other species, but understanding them. Perhaps that is my greatest failure in the collective's eyes, and my greatest achievement in my own. As he prepared to leave Earth, his door chimed. Dr. Kim and her brother Dong-yun stood there with serious expressions. "Before you go," Dr. Kim said, "we have something important to discuss." 1 year later, Taejo stood before the High Council of the Yonsei Collective. He looked different now. He wore formal Earth clothes, a dark suit with a small Earth emblem on the collar. This was his third meeting with the council since everything changed. "Ambassador Taijo," the head counselor said, "the human delegation has arrived. Are you prepared to represent Earth's interests?" "I am," Taijo replied with confidence that would have surprised his former self. A year ago, when Dr. Kim and Dong-hyun had come to his quarters on his last day on Earth, they had brought an unexpected offer: political asylum and a new role as Earth's first ambassador to the stars. Faced with returning to the collective in certain disgrace or helping the species he had come to admire, Taijo had made his choice. That choice had shocked both worlds. The doors opened, and the human delegation entered. Dr. Kim led them, now the head of Earth's new interspecies communication department. Dong-hyun followed, representing Earth's United Emergency Response Teams. Several world leaders completed the group. Taijo stepped forward to make formal introductions. 1 year ago, he would have found this situation impossible, him representing humans to his own people. Yet here he was. After the formal greetings, Dr. Kim approached him. "How does it feel?" she asked quietly. "Being on the other side?" "Strange," Taijo admitted, "but right. The past year had transformed both Earth and Taijo. The revelation of the asteroid test had united humanity in unexpected ways. Anger at being tested had given way to determined advancement. With the knowledge that they weren't alone in the universe, Earth's nations had put aside old fights to prepare for their place among the stars. Taijo had shared what knowledge he could without betraying collective secrets. This careful balance had earned him respect from both sides. His unique position had eventually forced the collective to recognize him as Earth's official representative. Most surprising to Taijo was the change in himself. Where he once saw only order and logic in the collective way, he now valued the human capacity for change and growth. Where he once saw only chaos in human differences, he now recognized the strength in their diversity. That evening, after the diplomatic meetings ended, Taijo returned to his quarters and opened his journal. He had kept writing even after leaving collective service. Old habits remained useful. 1 year since choosing Earth. Today marks the first formal diplomatic recognition between humans and the collective. Dr. Kim handled negotiations with remarkable skill. Humans continued to surprise my former people. The collective expected them to demand technology after learning about the test. Instead, they asked for knowledge exchange programs and mutual defense agreements. Subin was present today. He still serves the collective faithfully. He looked at me strangely, perhaps wondering how I could choose to represent humans. He cannot understand yet what I have learned: that true advancement comes not from perfect order, but from the challenge of change. I have discovered why the collective ship destroyed the asteroid fragment last year. The young pilot could not watch millions die when he could prevent it. He too was disciplined for emotional compromise. Perhaps he is not alone. Perhaps others in the collective are beginning to question our old ways as well. A chime at his Doctor interrupted his writing. Dr. Kim entered, looking tired but pleased. "The agreements are signed," she said. "Earth is officially recognized as an equal diplomatic partner." "Equal?" Taijo asked with slight amusement. "The collective rarely considers anyone truly equal." "Well, they had little choice after we replicated. Some of their basic technology using your hints and our own innovation," she said with a smile. "They respect our rapid progress." Taijo nodded. "Humans adapt faster than any species I have encountered. What takes the collective decades takes you years." "Because we embrace new ideas," Dr. Kim said. "Speaking of which, the Council has invited Earth to send students to their science academy next year. They've asked you to help select candidates." "I would be honored," Taijo said. After she left, Taijo finished his journal entry. "I came to Earth as an observer of humanity, but became transformed by them. I thought I would teach, but instead I learned. The true measure of advanced civilization is not technical achievement, but the willingness to grow and change. By that standard, humanity may indeed be the most promising species in the galaxy. Tomorrow, we begin a new chapter in both our worlds' histories, and for the first time, I look forward to an uncertain future with hope rather than fear. This, perhaps, is humanity's greatest gift to me. Taejo closed his journal and looked out at the stars. One of them was Sul, Earth's sun. Once a distant research assignment, now the home he had chosen. The journey between those points had changed him forever, and for that he was grateful.